Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. I've got a problem with my DX9. For those of you who don't know, this is my go-to transmitter. This is my only transmitter. When I got back into flying RC, I got rid of my old Futaba, my old JR, because it was crystal based technology, and I decided to go for Spektrum because I just like Spektrum kit. I've had this for over a year. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Quick walk round before I tell you what the problem is. This is for retracts. I always use that for retracts. This is the binding button. This green one is if I'm using stuff like AS3X safe mode or stabilization mode. I have it set to different positions on the green. Yellow, rates. White, flaps. And then you come over to this side. This is my throttle cut. That's throttle cut off. In other words, throttle will work. Down is throttle cut on, which means it won't work. The logic behind that is this is down, retracts are down. I don't want the prop to work. If I'm flying, I bring this up, take off, then bring the retracts up. So they're both up. Then when I land, I bring this down, land, then bring this down to cut the throttle. These I tend not to use much because I don't use all 9 channels. This rotary switch I tend to use for the Lemon stabilized receiver, where you can set the gains, low, medium, high gains, and you can proportionally adjust them. This has sliders, which I don't use. I used to have this slider as throttle cut, but I changed that to a nice red topped switch. That all works fantastically. Trims are digital, they work great. Throttle stick's brilliant. Everything's great on it. The only problem I've got is this scroll wheel. Now, in order to select your aircraft to set certain parameters, you have to use this scroll wheel to scroll left and right, which will page it through the menus. Now, to actually select that menu you're on, the scroll switch is also a button. What I found is that something's gone wrong inside because the press is almost non-existent. It still functions, but you just tap it and it will select whatever you're on. So it still scrolls well, but it used to have a definitive click when you press down. That's gone. There is a tiny movement in there. It must be 1 millimeter, if that. I've got to send this back. I've got to send it back to Spektrum via my model shop, get it repaired. But it's the only transmitter I've got. Or is it? Let's go to an unboxing. This package was delivered to me today, the last day of 2020. Let's get this open. I think my knife needs sharpening. Oh, that's the invoice. You don't want to see that. But this we do want to see. And that's what we have in the box. A brand spanking new, just released NX6. This is going to be a backup to my DX9 because I've had my DX9 a year, and while they've got it I can't fly, so I need a backup. So I decided to go for the NX6. Let's take a quick look, see what it's like. We've got one manual. NX6 manual. Italian, French, German and English up to there. We've got a USB connection, because that's how this is charged. You don't plug it into the mains. Very nice. got a few less switches than my DX9, but that's to be expected. But I don't use these switches. It doesn't have the rotor switches and it doesn't have the sliders. I don't use any of those. This I use for my throttle cut. This I use for my retracts. This I use for safe select. And then I have rates and flaps. And that's about it. So there's a folding antenna, so it can be folded down. And contrary to what a lot of reviewers say, there is no aerial in the handle. There is this aerial, and there is an aerial under this nameplate. There are no magnetic bearings on these sticks. The only NX that has those is the NX10. So this says it's a 6-channel, obviously, NX6, but it's got a 7th channel. And the important thing about the 7th channel, you can only use it for one function and one function only, and that is to switch on and off Safe Select and AS3X. Now that's pretty good, because currently on my DX9 I have to assign one of its channels in order for the Safe Select to work. Well, I don't need to on here, it's already there. It's a 7th channel specifically reserved for that use. Yeah, that's much better. My other one hardly moves. I'm not sure what these are. It's got an X, a back arrow and a function. Digital trims. The other nice thing about this is these are adjusters underneath here and here, and you can adjust the tensioning of the sticks quite easily without having to take the back off. So talking about the back, you have your headphone socket. This I'm not sure what it's called, but it's for attaching a module if you're using FPV, drone flying, that type of thing. And here's your USB charger port. Also connection to your computer for firmware upgrades and that type of thing. It's a slot in the base for your SIM card, and I'll be saving all my models on the DX9 to a SIM and then transferring the SIM to here and uploading. There's the battery. I'm not very impressed with the battery actually. I've no idea how long it'll last. So this phone can come out, and then you can put in a whacking great big battery that comes with the NX10. Have to buy it separately, of course. Yeah, quite like it. Just got to play with it. Turn on is this. There's no actual switch. It's just this. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. There's some different things here. This back arrow, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, well, it's not charged yet, so I'm gonna switch it off. Nice little tunes. Get it charged up and then have a play. It feels really nice in the hands because this is where your sliders are on the DX9, but this doesn't have any, so your fingers actually rest there naturally, and the grip's quite a nice. Yeah, I like that. It's very ergonomic. Yeah, I think it's good. I say it's my backup, it might actually become my main, because although I got a 9 channel, I've never used more than 7 on it, and that's for switching the AS3X flaps and landing gear, and this will do exactly that. So happy New Year everyone, thanks for watching, see you on another video, cheers.